For as long as I can remember, the generic national focus tree looks like this. It is, in few words, a sad focus tree compared to focus trees you get by paying Paradox your hard-earned money from the terrific 9-to-5 job you have. And unfortunately, for a lot of nations, this might be a forever curse, as they probably will not add a focus tree for a nation like El Salvador. And because I record the series called Democracy A to Z, where I play every nation in this forsaken game, I am bound to play nations without the focus tree. Hell, it's even impossible to find mods for them. Albeit, there is a mod called Generic Focus Trees Reworked, which, as the name says, it reworks and expands the focus trees for such a no-name nations as today's Dominican Republic. Maybe before I will end the intro, I'll say that the world, as always, was fully randomized, cause it's banned for me to have fun on these campaigns. And the start is already different, as I had planned for the game, but it turned out that no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get my plan to work, as the idea was to use only bicycle divisions. Sadly, the mod was janky, and I didn't get it to work from the start, so I turned to even worse idea for Dominican Republic's economy, of one military factory, and the strategy was the armored cars, in addition of motorized and motorized artillery. Oh hell yeah, you heard me right. And that's why the first things I start researching is the motorized trucks and production efficiency, as the powerful Dominican Republic, who is also fascist at the start of the game, starts off with a massive army of one troop. I had to get a whole commander for them, which, shocker, Dominican Republic did not have. So the oldest officer gets promoted, and Mr. Horacio Henriquez became the most respected general of the army, with skills so high even Sun Tzu should be worried. After all that, I opened the focus tree to decide how should the brave Dominicaners be built, and I had to take time in it because the mod had reworked the tree so much, even democracies get 3 different paths. Can you believe it? Actual choices for the democratic parties? So there was the centrism camp, which specialized in being a nation of grillers for some reason, but it wasn't entirely to my liking, as it was kind of go to sleep kind of democracy. And then the ultimate battle, conservatives versus liberals. The ultimate battle between Orange Man and, sadly, no longer Sleepy Joe, cause Leper Joe probably has shit his pants on the way here and had to take a break, or he just simply fell from his bicycle. Anyway, I thought about conservatives at first. They had monthly population instantly on the first focus, although if I would wait with 3 more focuses, I would get even more monthly pop from the beloved Sleepy Joers. That's why I exactly chose them. But now, as hard as I wanted to get the fucking bicycle divisions, I used the PP for the decision, and nothing ever happened. The only thing that happened was my political power has gotten sucked dry, and I had to take few minutes to check everywhere if the battalions were hiding somewhere, maybe, I don't know, but they weren't. They just vanished into a void to never return again. Unless I even went crazy to cheat to see if anything would work, but nothing did. These battalions were simply put non-existent no matter what I did. So I closed the game and jacked off. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I did not, but I did close the game, disabled the mod, and got to the same place in the game yet again. This time thinking about maybe doing artillery only, although after seeing that there was literally 0 organizations in these troops, yeah, I'm not gonna be dealing with that, man. So that was the point where I thought of our machine friends. I was going to prove to everyone that making armored cars is totally viable, even for a nation like the Dominican Republic. We yet again recruit Horacio Henriquez, this time him getting career officer for some reason. This campaign I opted to rather get extra research slot from the start, cause bruh, how do you even survive without having anything researched? I mean, we also just had 2 research slots. Also, the amount I had to research to make these terrific divisions was, well, terrific. I had to get armored cars, of course, then trucks, better guns, artillery for upgrading the cars, support equipment, and at the same time fucking industry. And you expect me to do this on what? On 2 research slots? Yeah, good luck with that, man. Also, I couldn't get this thing. What, Mr. Hitler? He did look a bit different in this timeline, and yeah, and with the extra research slot, I also went for tanks, cause my brain was deformed when I loaded this game 9 years ago. And still, before going anywhere further with political matters, I had to get some armament efforts, as if I will go to war with Haiti. I was not gonna use the foot soldiers, cause I care too much about their legs, so I had to have any kind of armored car divisions by that time. So excuse me if we are a fascist a bit longer, but there are bigger matters here, man. Also, just look at that mustache. He couldn't have done anything bad, could he? I invented this atrocious division and called it Fast Foxes, in the glory of my faithful Patreon supporter, Mr. Fox. And they get the Toyota icon because, you know, why the hell not? Then the sheer fear crossed into my eyes as I saw Haiti already produced at minimum 2 troops, and I had yet to open enough factories to even be able to get divisions. But as more armament efforts passed by, we started spawning factories for them and also making the guns and trucks out of I don't know, Legos. But at the same time, Legos are also expensive, so I guess we just made them out of wood and bones. Because how in the hell do you even produce trucks without rubber? Are our trucks moving on the funny stone wheels back in the Flintstone era? But that doesn't matter for us as long as we get the cars. Deciding with the doctrine though, there wasn't even a lot to decide because I chose mobile warfare instantly. After enough of armaments efforts has passed, the industry was exploding and I started to recruit our beloved car divisions and also finally decided to change the damn ideology. And as I said before, I opted for liberalism. Because spoiler, we will need the monthly population due to what country the campaign is played as. And you know how democracies cannot declare war goals until it's 100% war tension? I am not a democracy yet, so you know, Haiti has to die. I justify war goal on them still as funny mustache leader, but by the time it finishes, we will be democratic, so that doesn't break the democracy rule. But if you decide to still write comment that I broke democratic rules and values, your comment will cease to exist and your account will be permanently removed from this channel. In the name of democracy, of course. After all the political affairs and not even re-arming the nation, but arming it for the first time, we switched to being representative Dominican Republic and start our grand researches as we willingly put handcuffs on ourselves and couldn't do anything more. And not a lot happened, to be honest. I mean, anime Hitler died a long time ago and chicken nugget country of Czechoslovakia opted on giving up Sudetenland for no reason. And unless we want to talk about how my games end up in the most cursed wasteland there is, it's already started to get cursed, as well as, you know, fascist Italy joining Union of Britain, which is communist, and enough of world news. Let's get back to Republic of Dominican Republic news. Our old president, Mr. Mustache Man, has finally finished justifying his war goal against the nation of Haiti. We are not really sure why he kept justifying, as he was kicked out of the government a long time ago. Now, our new democratic president has nothing to do with the conflict. Hells, the army is still nowhere to be ready, but he himself, Mr. Generico, decides to unleash hell on the people of Haiti. And holy damn, our divisions suck. We only got 4. Haiti has God knows how much. The terrain, not so great either. A man can only micro as much as he can. It began to feel like some kind of clown work, as there was always one division in rotation trying to get strength back just to get into the fray because we were losing the lower tile badly. At the 5 or 10 minutes I did this shit, I felt like I've got another hole in my brain because of how numbing it was. And I guess the reinforcer rate wasn't high enough and I lost the fucking tile. I tried to fix it out somehow, but it was to no avail. The actual tragedy struck because I got to melt it into my last tile. And you know how that must have went. My poor cars were poked to death by Haitian farmers. The good news? I didn't reload, because I ain't the pussy who's always reloading game saves to have everything perfect. I took the defeat on my chest, because we just signed a peace deal between our nations, but I will get you one day, Haiti. One day you will repent for what you've done to my automobiles. And now, well, everybody can fall into deep sleep, because there is no way, Jose, for me to declare war anymore. So I rearmed and redesigned Dominicanish army and divisions and add motorized artillery to our divisions. Also, fun fact, did you know that upgrading artillery also upgrades armored car stats? Why is that? Shit, I don't fucking know, but it's good to know. What I find weird about this mod is the little of the road to war, because to get the actual war goals from the focuses, you need to be an AI. Like, why man? Just let me get the war goals too. It would have made the most sense, am I right? Especially that we could have gotten a way to get back at Haiti. And also, look at that! I fully industrialized our part of the island. The infrastructure is from another planet. Max factories, bunkers fucking everywhere. Truly a Caribbean utopia. After a long wait and research, and I mean truly a long time of nothing happening, and the best part is during the rearming time I think I pressed 7 different things to get more manpower, and I still saw the number 0 in the manpower window. We might have to start conscripting children at this point to drive the armored cars for us, if that's the current situation. In 1940s shit started to go down as Mexico started assaulting every nation in Central America. Us though, we just casually make state welfare focus. Thanks to the reworked focus tree, I go down the volunteer corps and the world police force to help out fellow democracies all across this cursed world, and I sent one of not so many straight into France, which if I would be that division, I would have planted a bomb into my own car to explode before I get into France. He got his own general though, and we went into the fray, and how can I put it? Well, just look at these borders and how fucking fact they are. My astral knowledge extends that far that I am able to see that there is no way someone is pushing in here, especially with the terrain that is here. And then something big happened back at home. Mexicans declared war on the United States. At the same time, more of Fast Foxes has engineered themselves out of the factories, and I could go and help more countries, being Yugoslavia, Romania and Hungary. Although Paradox decided to be little fuckers and didn't expect you would send volunteers to different countries from the same faction, and I ended up having to enlist extra generals and had to micromanage all these Muppets, because I just couldn't group them all at once. I intensely micromanaged the front to push into Germany, but I looked up the war tension and it was at 100%. You know what that means? We are finally free from our restriction chains, kinda at least. And I opted to join the American faction because it was the only sane option in my opinion, and to make it so that I could have been in the peace deal, and I actually wanted my divisions to be grouped. I declared the war on Mr. Wilhelm III. It takes a bit of time for the Toyotas to get transported into swamps, and when they did get there, they did fairly okay. I guess they aren't fucking good in times like this when they don't have that much divisions and we get to completely overrun their troops. And the cars are fast, very fucking fast. I made them even faster after I relocated them to Romania on border with Germany, as it was way more infrastructured over there. We encircle and squash Danzig and drive our Toyotas straight into Berlin, letting Wilhelm die and capitulate to us, dragging their whole faction with them. And you know, I think our overseas colonies in Germany and South Africa are good compensation for what our cars must have gone through. What's the next step then? More war, of course! And the only war United States is involved in is war against the United Cockdom. I released both provinces in Germany because I ain't gonna man this shit. Well, there is barely anyone in the South African province, so I might as well keep on to it now. Then United States call us into their war, and as a self-respecting individual, I accept the call to arms, breaking each and every truce we have signed. I put Toyotas on the Finnish border to chip out Russia, but bit by bit, my supply chipped out and the cars started to literally suffocate because of no reinforcements. I did encircle and kill Russians though, so that's a positive. And you know, I would say that I am a pretty ambitious individual, but you know, planning this kind of naval invasion on the United Kingdom with the divisions I had and the navy powerhouse I was, I literally don't know what the fuck has come to my mind to even think about this invasion. But after seeing that they had 3,000 ships on the sea, I just came back to Finland, and the front is fucking packed over there. We're talking hundreds of thousands of Soviet soldiers sitting in Petrograd and in nearby villages. This shit was so draining, not even for my mental health, but for my equipment. I just gave up and relocated to Spain. And yet again, tell me, I don't have functional brain, I swear, as I took my soldiers from Russian cold swamps directly into Spanish hot mountains with cars, with fucking cars. Am I even thinking at this point? But I guess I must have gotten cheeks clapped over there as I went into Belgium not so long after. But spoiler, they for some reason turned into Leo Belgicus that were not at war with us, so I had to fucking relocate again. So there was the fight in eastern Poland's not really industrialized lands. The infrastructure doesn't stop our automobiles though, and we encircle a bunch of these guys, wiping them out of the earth. But the more I was in Europe, the more I wanted to pull the trigger. You see, the wars over there were a bit convoluted, and when you pushed one front, there was a whole other nation pushing you from the other side. And it was also giving more land to other factions and not mine. Thus I moved into Africa, because even if I give lands in Africa to other factions, what do they get? A bunch of deserts and unindustrialized lands? And there it was, the massive fight of cars against horses in Morocco, or whatever Sahara desert this shit was. I navally invaded Madeira and created the most fitting division to suppress the people of Madeira. Just armored cars divisions with papers, please logo on it. Then, what else? I got my shit kicked here. My allies are falling over there. Shit, I guess I'll just send my armored cars and trucks into fucking Switzerland. I'm starting to think the lights go off in my head when I play these campaigns. But I did move them to France, which just fell as I got there, and for a short period, the whole army was encircled. I kid you not, I shot myself, but they managed to get out of there, so it's not gonna be second time my army evaporates. Then I tried to get to Romania. Didn't go well, as the Balkans were falling one by one. I am living a nomadic life at this point, and one of my peeps was exiled Albania, which he had no way to come back from because he was in an ocean of enemies. Good luck over there, Mr. General. And then the other nations were having a peace deal which fucked up everything, even though they went into peace deal. Some wars broke out and I just kept clicking random countries to see who is at war with who. Like I click on myself and I'm only at war with the UK. Then someone else from my faction is also at war with the remains of the allies. Then the Nordic front was also warmongering. Like I actually got dizzy trying to understand this shit. So I took my time and realized the only way is to solely invade Africa, as it would provide land for my faction and I could actually deliver supplies over there. Also, I asked Big Sleepy Joe for some land, as I was literally running on fumes with everything in my country, so a little bit of slavery. I mean, a bit of local autonomy, I could get more manpower and factories from the Mexican lands. And holy crap, they did boost our power. In fact, it got me so riled up, I'd set naval invasions of Africa to go off, which was difficult but successful. And I instantly gave all the area to United States, as I don't care for the desert there is. And also so that the lazy ass fucking AI moves its ass and gets over here, because unless they don't directly hold land, they sometimes refuse to man the front. To be fair, I must say that the armored cars and motorized excel in fighting in Africa. They are just zooming, encircling everyone, healing everyone. It's very satisfying to see that, if I'm honest. And then, unfortunately, my worst nightmare to come to life. Haiti joined the same faction I was in, which meant I couldn't declare war on them anymore. I guess they will not repent for what they did in the 30s. But you know, forgiveness is the key in life. We should all forgive certain people, not Mustache Man, when they did bad things. So I forgive you, Mr. Haiti. And so then what moves were next? Finishing African front. The South African at least. The Portuguese colonizers had few lands over there, but since there was only one port they owned, they didn't stand a chance against our motorized boys. They get encircled and melted in times without any ports. With the African theater dealt with, I nomad my way back into Europe, where an actual mess happened. There was like 4 different factions killing each other, Hashemite Caliphate coming from the south, then my 2 puppets inside German lands, and like, what even are these fucking borders? And I regret having allied orders on, cause goddamn, they don't make sense. Like the one invasion starting in Boston or somewhere, going around the whole Africa through the Suez Canal just to land onto Barcelona. The convoluted lands over there. So we were just strolling around taking land for other countries. As you know, I pushed here and there. There were ups and lows, but overall we pushed onward or even sideways. Here I will give you a quick time lapse of how it went, and just listen to the amazing soundtrack of, I don't know, it went pretty weird, right? At that time, someone purified this world of India, letting me take one single useless piece of them. Funny thing is that with local autonomy in Mexico went so high, I got actual manpower. And I got so much to the point America was asking me for garrison support. I did spew out few divisions through this war, but it wasn't too much. All the knowledge I possessed from classes of being a rat in Hoi4's 101, I snake past and kill enemies, capitulating Hungary and making a bit clearer view of the Balkans. Then, when I was redesigning my Toyota people, I checked into the infantry tree and saw the bicycles over there. And I didn't really understand why they were over there now, since I didn't do anything special. Whatever, man. I made a very creative division and called them Bicycle Seat Sneakers, because why the hell not? I noticed that the United States managed to land on the United Kingdom's lands, and at this moment I joined the party, landing my troops on the eastern side of England. And side by side we capitulated the Brits, and seeing how fast the foxes were in there was absolutely spectacular. Capitulating this cursed faction was only up to us beating up the Russians, which is my favorite thing to do, especially when they're after a civil war. They are just so brittle, they go off without any resistance. And my favorite thing about this game, the peace deals, in which surprisingly I had 12% world participation. And don't even try to judge me for the border war I made, I just had to get manpower and factories off of them. Even though we capitulated and freed the British faction, there was still a lot of work in the way of Nordic Alliance and the Japanese one. There was also the ultimate boss of Ghana, but I will get to that way later in the video. Out of the 2 factions, I decided to go for the weaker link, being Nordic Alliance, needing me to only beat up Finno-Russian cursed land. So I try and land over there, but my peeps start suffocating because there is no damn supply. I started to get further in, and then they naval invaded me back, and my divisions literally melted, so I had to grab immediate help in the form of my puppets troops and naval invading Denmark. As I said, it took only Finland to capitulate the whole faction, but I got pissed when I saw that I had 23% war participation in that war. So I genuinely cried. You know what, fine. You do what you want to do with this, Mr. USA. I'm here to just spread freedom. And the Ghanaians were starting to get on my nerve, and I designed a special division for them to take them down. But Ghana was still untouchable, so I focused on China. I released the Far Eastern Republic to, you know, have a safe place from which we can land, and I prepared the whole 120 120 naval invasions on the coast of China, most of which divisions are still the car divisions from when we started all these wars. Most of them land, and these who don't land just redirect themselves to the port nearby and strengthen the front. Surprisingly, China isn't manning these provinces, so I easily take everything. I just roll into heartland of China, cutting everything through and getting free land. They capitulate and I move my troops into India to secure the victory against Arabia through naval invasions. I get there and what happens? Some kind of fucking partisans rise up like a nation of partisans. Like a nation of partisans? Like what the fuck? Partisaning my fucking troops and teleporting them into God knows where. Like why did they get exiled to Russia? Who fucking knows? The division that did not get exiled landed in Oman and Yemen and pushed into Middle East, which turns out everything is empty over there, so we even drive to Caucasus. But they didn't capitulate, I guess because they restored Arabia and they were the Caliphate earlier and they called Spain and Algeria. The US had land in Portugal from which I took their course and then sailed my cars across the waters into Algeria, resulting in them capitulating to us. With the 39% war participation, I have created an abomination of a peace deal and moved to final boss. I never realized a released country could be so strong. I'm gonna start that they also took one of their neighbors, and so I tried with normal cars and with the Amtraks. That did not work. Then I set over 80 divisions in waves of naval invasions. It still did not fucking work. Then I managed to land on one province and got instantly removed from there as there would be some kind of pest. It still did not fucking work. Like at this point, what more can I do? I even made more planes and got domination over there. I was seriously starting to think I will need to utilize nuclear weapons. Like at this point, how are they defending my 100 division naval invasion? Are they fucking immortal? And the best part is that they don't have that much divisions there. Why can't I punch this shit through? And then I came with my last idea before nukes. Everyone on the 3 tiles to the left, as there is a port, and the other 2 tiles were the least protected. And I fucking finally made it. I started spreading into their lands, and still with a lot of resistance they did give up their weapons and turned themselves in. And I made sure that I would control them.
As a punishment for how long they fought me off.
As I was about to end the campaign here, the Scottish people decided to revolt, and they were quickly squashed by every nation of my faction. That was it, folks. We've beat up every other faction as Democratic Dominican Republic with only cars, trucks with cannons, and our beloved bicycles. It would have also been with bicycle with artillery, but the fucking mods didn't work. You know, it was pretty slow at the start, especially after goddamn Haiti took us out. It was enjoyable. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to say, but thank you for watching. Join the Discord, and also maybe you saw me on John Parker's video, as I will be participating in the event of Capitulate Cancer. So you will get a bunch of streams during the month of September. Yeah. Once again, thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.